Welcome to the SowaanERP. This is the project view, the list view where you can list out all your project based on the statuses with a percentage complete or a task based completion. You can define by yourself. It is a customizable completion method which you can define for each project, and this is how it is going to look like here in the list view. You can turn your project into Kanban as well to have a look and to control them and to work with them in this way as well. There is the Kanban view where you can drag and drop your project, like this, yeah. And the same Kanban view can be turned into another view. I just declared this particular project as a cancel by dragging the same project into cancel list, which I can do so again, by doing so, and that is going to take effect in the list view as you can see it here, with automatically calculating the percentage of the task completion. Yeah. So if I take you to the dashboard, you can see to it this is what it was in fact. As you can see here in the dashboard in a graphical view, where you can see there are 4 tasks and 1 is completed, and that is how that particular percentage is being calculated. Sorry, in here. Out of 3, 1 is completed, so that is what 33% is tabulated. And on the same way, the budget can be defined for a project. Here you can see to it that 42,000 was the budget amount for the fiscal year, and against which 50,000 has been spent, and you are making a budget loss for 8,000. You can also drill down to have a look. You can also drill down these figures to a report view, where you can have a detailed view for the same stuff. This is the login page of Swan Contracting, where you insert your username and password, and you can log in by clicking the login button, and there's how you land on the home page, where you can see the modules on the top left side, and you can click on any of the modules and the system will take you there. The sale inquiry document list is going to look like this, and this sale inquiry has turned into the BOQ, and that particular record is in fact a sale inquiry from which you can create a BOQ. And this is BOQ is your main document where you can control or your this is how these are all documents are connected to each other. And if I go to the BOQ, system will list me on the one which is in fact connected to this inquiry, and if I open it up, I can see to it that a particular item booked with a costing and a selling rate, which can be printed the way you want it, as far as master BOQ is concerned, or the other printing style or printing format the way you want it, can be used in this way. This is the project dashboard, where you can see all those associated documents links to that particular project entity. You can define the project name in number and the method by which you can track the progress of the project itself. And it has also connected the budget and the BOQs which you created for the same project. So if I go to the BOQ, you can see to it all those BOQs line up in here for this particular project. One is rejected, the other one is approved, and if you open it up, you can create the budget right from here. And we are here particularly talking about the BOQ, that how you are going to list your items, and the parent item will have all those associated selling and costing dry cost mechanism line up in here on the each item line, where you can see to it if you are making a loss or a profit on each one. So you can charge the labor or engage any machine as well. And particularly the parent item will have its own child items, and all those child items, especially in the case of substructure, these are 2 child items for this particular parent one. With same unit of measurement quantities, you can define the costing and selling factor, which can further contribute respective parent for the selling as well as a costing factor. If you have set up this costing mechanism on here, it is optional. If you want, you can do so. Otherwise, you can also manually input the data as well. And this is going to bring up your BOQ profitability in this way that all those direct cost and additional dry cost will make up and will list up in here to show you either you are making a loss or a profit. The cost summary is going to help you to create a budget automatically. And as far as these three items are concerned, these two belongs to the main fuel and labor charges belongs to one item group, and the other one is having a separate item group, as machine belongs to assets, and with respective GL accounts and all those costs listed up in here accumulated to push forward towards the budget automatically. That is how your BOQ controls the budget, the BOQ itself, the profitability, as well as the project itself on the same screen. You will see how BOQ based budget is going to take effect while you are going to purchase or request something for the same project. You can see here Altawan project has already exceeded 8,000 reals. But if I'm going to request anything based on this project, how project is going to control it. So by clicking on the home button and then to project, you can also trigger a request right from the material request document, or maybe project within the project it is also available. You can go to the dashboard of the project, and here you can see the particular request document is listed in here, which you can populate, and all those recorded documents for material request for this particular project is line up in here. And the one we are particularly composing for a purchase purpose, a requester can name himself, right? Pick and choose any employee sitting on a particular project or on a site can write up remarks and choose the item which they require right from the BOQ itself within the material request, and move on composing the document under a workflow. And this is how workflow will move based on roles assigned to each user within the ERP. And as soon as you start reaching after the project manager to purchase, the budget is going to trigger, and you can see to it that the Altawan project has 42,000 reals. In fact, you have already exceeded 8,000, and currently you have already made 50,000 expenses, and you are going to compose another 7,000, and that is what system is also showing you here in the dashboard screen as well. And that is how the project budget and document is controlling the material request document anybody requesting any item based on the same project. You also have the luxury, either for this particular project the budget can throw you a warning message or maybe stop you right there so that you cannot move on, yani. So you see, it is up to you to decide either you want to stop it or you want to just throw a warning. That's it. In this video, we are going to talk about project dashboard. Project module contains project dashboard link in here, where you can access it by clicking on the dashboard itself. There are multiple reports where you can check project timesheets, project wise stock tracking report, project billing, either you are raising invoices for all those time spent recorded by the timesheets, and the other delayed task within the project itself with the timeline and the time factor in days. You can also see this report in detail. For example, if I click on this report, you can have a look for a particular project, that if what are the tasks for a project with a priority, and what was the progress with the expected start and end date, with comparison of actual start and end date, where the delays in days are calculated, and that is how these are highlighted. If those days are delayed, going to be tabulating the number of days in days, and extra time spent in days will be going to be reflecting in red color. So this is how one of the report looks like. If I go to project dashboard has a better look, where you can see to it that how many projects you have here in the number cards, listed on the top, where you can see I can see there are 9 active projects going on, and these are also having their drilling down capacity. That if you are going to click on the button or the number card, system is going to take you to those particular filtered projects which were listed as a card in there. Those all 9 records in project list is was reflecting in the dashboard like this in a button view. The graphs are also reflecting here, showing the project overall status. That, for example, this Altawan project has total 3 tasks where 2 are overdue and 1 is completed, and that is how is the graphical view is representing all the details here in the dashboard, the project dashboards. Similarly, you have the budget graph where you can see there are two projects having budgets. And talking about the Altawan project, you can see to it that there was a budgeted amount of 42,000 dirhams, but exceeding actual expenses 50,000, making a variance of 8,000 dirhams. There is also if you can go to this particular report, that is where the data is coming from. So this data can be drilled down by clicking on the particular graph and reaching to that particular record or report to have a better look on this information clearly. You can see in here this was the project, and that is where the actual expense is, and that is where this is the budgeted amount, and that is what it was reflecting here in the budgeted in the graphical view here in this particular project dashboard. And the costing of each project based on different criteria are also listed up in here as a grand volume, and you can see to it that any particular project making up a line where you can see which particular project is total cost is reflecting or reaching to a volume in graphical form. And in fact, these graph are has the capacity to hover the cursor so that you have on a particular dot, you will see a particular figure reflecting the status of the project. In fact, in this case, you can see to it that this particular project has this much costing volume incurred as of now. This can also be drilled down to particular report, that is where the project comes. You can also drill down this particular detail in here. So this is all about project dashboarding, and that is how those project dashboard looks like. These are very dynamic and can be configurable and customizable to any extent you want in SowaanERP.